love the smell. Woo-wee. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And the weather is getting hot out here, but it's always nice to go out and enjoy the 350. Again, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of the carbon fiber hood. Is it a W or an L? Gonna be getting the hood re-clear coated, the hood pins protected. We're also gonna be going ahead and wrapping the roof, and I am gonna be installing the 2019 to 2020, I think it's a 2019, but I know for a fact the 2020 GT350 rear spoiler with the gurney flap. I think that will definitely complete the look as far as exterior goes, because personally I'm really digging the way this car looks right now, man. Something different. I know some people have mixed feelings on the carbon fiber hood, but I'm really fucking with it. Just got to be careful right now because I don't have hood pins. The latch does work, but just to be safe, I need to go ahead and get those on the car. But in this video, I do want to go ahead and talk about the real reason why I went with a carbon fiber hood. Because if you guys remember, when I first picked up this car, I actually originally was just going to leave it 100% stock, wasn't going to touch anything. But I do have some reasons why I decided to go ahead and get a carbon fiber hood, which in all reality, I'm really glad I did. Man, just cruising this car is so satisfying, man. Love it, absolutely love it. Now I'm actually pulling up to a different spot because the location that I was at, the sun was beating down too hard. It's like 90 degrees out here, and I definitely don't want to be cooking while recording this video. But I am going to be using this time to go ahead and talk about the status of the Gen 1 motor, because we are coming up on the next oil change interval. It's about, I'd say, 400 to 500 miles. I'm going to be changing the oil. Now, when I first picked up this car, I had 10,800 miles on it. I just rolled over 14,900. I put quite a bit of miles on this car since I did pick it up, but again, a lot of those miles were put on during the Texas 2K week, because quite literally I put 1,100 miles on this car in a week, and then after that, quite literally I've only put 1,100 miles on it, and that was the day that I did change the oil. I changed the oil on March 15th. I put 1,000 miles on it that week, and then after that, you know, it's been another, 1,100 or so miles on the car. And after the first check, after that 1,100 mile beat up, this car showed 0 signs of oil consumption, which is very good, because that whole week this car was at 8250. I was driving literally an hour and a half to certain locations, racing the car for about 20-30 minutes, driving an hour and a half back home. And I was doing that quite literally Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So this car saw a lot of abuse during that week. And after that, I kind of took a chill pill, really wasn't doing all that much roll racing in the car, really wasn't taking it up to 8250, but I still was driving the car, on 45-hour long cruises just to enjoy it. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I started hitting, 8250 again, started taking it out, roll racing it, and that's kind of when I went ahead and fried the stock clutch. So obviously, since that did happen, I've just been cruising the car since then. Now, in between that period, I did check the oil at like about 1,700 to 1,800 miles, no signs. But again, that was that period where I really wasn't doing anything with it after initially checking it after Texas 2K. Now that I have about 2,200 miles on this current oil change, I'm about halfway lower than I was at that 1,800 mile check. False alarm. I was actually unaware that the way you're supposed to check the oil on these GT350s is you're actually supposed to drive the car and then let it get to operating temperature, park it up, and then obviously let it sit for about 15-20 minutes and then check the oil to get an accurate reading. That's actually what I ended up doing after I got done recording this video. Literally took it home, let it sit for 15 minutes. I wasn't doing any type of pulls, just regular driving. So the motor was at obviously operating temp. Let it sit for 15, 20 minutes. I came back and checked, and we have no oil consumption or any type of drop in the oil marker. So disregard everything I'm saying here. We're good to go. But even if it did go down, let's say half of where it was, that still is very, very good, considering the fact that I was beating on this car for quite literally, arguably, let's say 1,500 miles out of the 2,200 miles that I currently have on this oil change. I think the next oil change interval, because after I do go ahead and change this oil, I'm probably gonna be, running it for maybe about a week or so. And then after that, I am planning on taking this car to Mustang Week, or it's Mustang Fest now. And obviously during Mustang Fest, there absolutely is no racing. It's just cruising, going to meets or whatnot. So I think that's gonna be the real, determinant on if, the intervals are gonna be staying the same. Let me know down in the comment section, what are your oil change intervals, Gen 1, Gen 2 Voodoos? Do you guys go 3K miles? Do you guys go 5,000 miles? I mean, you guys are crazy if you guys are going 5,000 miles, but I think I'm doing it right by changing it every 2,500 miles or so, and obviously not beating on the car 24/7. But I'd be lying if I said that this car did not see a whole lot of 8250 RPM shifts, because we're still on that same oil change interval where this car was quite literally beat for 5 days straight. Consistent, second to fifth gear pulls up to 150 miles an hour. So I feel like if this car was going to be consuming any type of oil, it would have happened probably during that 1,100 mile period, because that's double the time that people typically start to see issues. So I think we're good to go. I know a lot of people were wondering if it is worth getting a Gen 1 Voodoo. I'd say it is definitely worth getting a Gen 1 Voodoo. You want to make sure that you are paying attention. You want to make sure that you're warming up the car. You're going to want to make sure that you're using, the proper oil, 5W50, full synthetic. I use AMSOIL oil in my car, so I think that is a reason why, knock on everything, that everything is looking in spec with relation to how I do drive this vehicle. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the POV drive. Want to go ahead and discuss some things, but now I'm gonna go ahead and explain. I went ahead and put a carbon fiber hood on my Shelby GT350 because I have a good reason for it, and I think anybody in my position probably would have done the same thing. All right, so if you guys are unaware, these S550 hoods are aluminum. Now, if you have a 15 through and late 2019 hood, I believe they fixed the issue in 2020. These hoods are prone to the paint oxidation issues. Now, if you have that issue on your hood, you know exactly what I'm talking about and how annoying that can be. Now, when I went ahead and removed the stripes on this hood, I noticed that this hood unfortunately had the paint oxidation issue on the OEM hood. Now, at first I thought it was just an improper installation of the stripe. Maybe it was just bubbling at an area. So when I took it off, I expected it just to go away and to obviously not have that issue anymore. Well, once I did go ahead and move the stripe, I did notice that the paint was actually kind of chipped and broken, and on various areas of the hood I did notice some paint oxidation. Now, typically this is going to happen on like this kind of area of the hood alongside the edges. It can happen, at least on my hood, it can happen along the top areas of the hood here. And I also had an issue, not with oxidation, but the windshield wiper, when you actually move them up to clean the hood, it actually will scrape the paint here. Now, I didn't do that, but the hood did have that when I actually went ahead and washed the car. Luckily, I noticed that, and obviously I'm not making that mistake with the carbon fiber hood, because that'd be terrible. But the only way to actually fix that paint oxidation issue the correct way is to actually buy a whole new, or if you're lucky, get it under warranty, whole new hood, and get it repainted. Now obviously I wasn't really trying to go ahead and do that. Now I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna be asking, well, why didn't you just go ahead and repaint the OEM hood? That actually doesn't fix the issue. Now obviously on the surface it's gonna look brand new, it's gonna be good to go, but once that paint oxidation does start, it's there for good. And the only way to go ahead and actually fix the issue is to get a whole new hood, get it repainted, and get the new stripes if you wanted to go ahead and replace the stripes on the hood. Now obviously the cost of buying a new hood, getting it painted, and then getting the stripes is quite expensive. So I figured, well, this is a perfect excuse to go ahead and try out a carbon fiber hood. If I like it, cool, that's a huge W. I'll just leave it carbon fiber. If I don't, man, they got the cars out today, man. If I don't, obviously I could go ahead and paint match it. But as of right now, I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it just fits my style, man. Something a little bit different, and with the yellow, it just pops. And with the roof wrap and the Ford Performance spoiler with the gurney flap, I think it's gonna look absolutely amazing. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I made the right decision? Personally, like I said, I'm loving the hood, man. It just really offsets the yellow, because yellow is a color that, like, you either hate it or you love it, but I think it's working out quite well. The one thing I am going to say is, I think after I do put the Ford Performance spoiler on here with the black roof wrap and get the hood obviously properly protected with the re-clear and the hood pins, which should be happening next week, I think I'm going to put the stock taillights back on. And I think that's going to be it for the exterior mods. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more carbon fiber on the car. Not going to be ricing it out. I know some people were kind of worried that I was going to start going OD with the carbon fiber, doing fenders or whatnot. No. The hood, that's it. That's just enough kind of to break up the whole yellow of the car. I'm not going to do no carbon fiber lip. I'm not going to do any carbon fiber, you know, on the front bumper. I think this is the perfect match for me. And this is exactly kind of what I was looking for when kind of, you know, dressing up an S550 Mustang. Now, some guys are actually, you know, wanted me to do a cowl hood. Personally, the 350s, I don't think the cowl hood would work, just because the OEM fenders are wide. If this was like a Gen 3 car, I think maybe a 3-inch cowl hood would have looked amazing. Actually, I know it would have looked amazing. But on the 350s, I think the stock hood is the best. There is a GT500 style hood you could get for this car as well, but I think the stock hood looks the best on these, and it just kind of just finishes off the sleekness of the car and the aggressiveness of the front end. And that's kind of what I feel this carbon fiber hood kind of just goes ahead and complements quite well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm starting to get real hot here, so I'm gonna take off, man. If you guys enjoy, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, man. I got a lot more content coming with the 350. Potentially got some FRS content going, but right now I'm just enjoying the cars and driving them and just having a good time. So I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuce.